It would be great if you could hear your mix in a pro studio like Chris Lord-Alge's while you're working on it. Well, now you can from home, kind of, with the Waves CLA NX plugin. This takes mixing with headphones to the next level. It puts you into CLA's mix space virtually, and you can hear what your mix is going to sound like in a pro studio, and hopefully it's going to help you to make better mix decisions based on what you hear. Now, in this video, we're checking out the Waves CLA NX plugin. I'm Zane. Welcome to Audio Tech TV, where it's my goal to help you conquer the tech so you can unleash your creative beast. Now, this video is not sponsored by Waves, but they did send me early access to the plugin so I could check it out and hopefully make a video on it, which I'm doing now. And of course, I've included a link down in the description so you can hop over to their website, check out the latest pricing, get more info on it if you like. And like all of Waves plugins, this is available on Mac and Windows. Now, let's jump in. All right, so first off, who is this plugin for? Well, it's for most of us home studio musicians and producers that don't have a professional mix space to do our mixes in. A lot of us have converted bedrooms and basements and other spaces within our home, and we've changed those into our home studio. Now, if you want to get accurate mixes, acoustics play a big role in that. So this plugin, the Waves CLA NX, takes your home acoustics right out of the equation, and it puts you into CLA's mix room, complete with his speakers and even his boombox for referencing. So this plugin is for most of us who are mixing with headphones and we don't want to disturb our neighbors or other people within the home, but we still want to get accurate mixes. Now, one of the things I really like about the Waves NX series of plugins is they're extremely easy to use. You just put it onto the mix bus as the last plugin on your list, and that's kind of it. But there are some things that you can adjust. So let's have a look at what we can adjust in the plugin. And the first thing that I normally go to is the headphone EQ right here. And if you click this drop down box, you can see there's some different headphones in here that are fairly popular for mixing. And if you have any of these headphones, you could click on it and then enable the headphone EQ. But if you don't have any of these headphones, don't worry, you can still use this plugin with great success. I often use the Waves NX plugins with another set of headphones that I have, and they're not listed in here. But what it does when it's enabled is it looks at the headphones in here, and it understands the frequency response of these headphones, and it corrects the curve so you can get a flatter response. And this can result in some more accurate mixes. But if you know your headphones already and you know how to mix with them, then you don't even need to worry about this, even if you have the same pair that are in here. But today I'm using these Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones for this. And you can see on the top here, I have the Waves NX tracker. And if you look on the screen there, you can see the way my head turns. And what this does is, if I turn my head this way, I can hear what it's going to sound like in that studio if I were to actually turn my head that way and this way and up and down and all of that sort of thing. So it really immerses you into the experience, and it really sounds like you're in the studio. It's pretty cool if you can grab one of these Waves NX head trackers. If not, this will also work with your webcam on your computer, and it can track your movements that way. But you don't have to use the head tracker if it's something you don't want to. It's just kind of an added experience. You can turn the head tracking on and off right here. So that's usually the only things that I'll change in here is I'll either turn on the head tracking and turn on the headphone EQ. But there are some other settings in here. Like you have this head modeling where you can measure your head and put in those settings in here, and that can make it even more immersive for you if that's something you want to do. But again, it's not something that you absolutely have to do. You can also see you have your ambience and level controls here. Now, the ambience controls how much of the room ambience you're hearing, and it's by default at 100%. If you change this, then it's not 100% that mix room, it's something that you've customized. Now the levels, if you start clipping within the plugin, you can adjust the levels, or if you're too low, you can increase the levels, whatever you need to do. Now, here's one thing that I always change throughout the mix process, and this is your studio monitors. So by changing these, it changes the speakers that you're actually listening through within his studio. So first up, you have these CLA 10s plus a sub, and that's these speakers right here. And these are custom Avantone speakers that Chris Lord-Alge has in his studio, plus there's a subwoofer under the desk. And then you have your mains, which are the big speakers back here. And those are two 15-inch speakers with one horn per speaker. So a lot of bass definition in there. And then you have boombox, and this is just a Sony mini disc boombox that he has in his studio, so he can get a reference of what this might sound like in the real world. And this is a great addition because it allows you to have a more real world reference like what your listeners might have. So now I'm just going to play back my mix, and I'm going to switch through these speakers so you can hear the difference between each one. But before I do that, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this video so far and getting some value out of it. Can you please give it a thumbs up? It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Now let's give this a listen. So you can hear a bit of a difference in there. The CLA-10 and sub and the mains are fairly the same, but I think the mains might have a little more bass definition in there. But it's great to switch around, and you do want your mix to sound fairly the same across both of those. And of course, it's going to sound a lot different in the boombox. And of course, it's going to sound a lot different in the boombox, but it should still sound good on there. So now let's look at the Rotate Studio feature. And you can see if I click here, and I turn this around like that, we can see all around Chris Lord-Alge's studio. You see he has some nice guitars up there, a ton of rack gear. And if you want to quickly get back to the default look, you just press this 0 degrees button and it brings you back there. And another cool thing is if you press the arrow underneath Boombox, it switches you to a behind look where you're looking at the boombox. So when you're enabling the boombox, you can enable it by pressing the top part, and it's going to keep the default view. So you're going to hear the boombox coming from behind you, or you can click this arrow and you're going to be looking at the boombox. So you're going to be staring it straight on, and that's how it's going to sound in your head. Now let's just listen to the mix as we rotate the studio so you can hear what that sounds like. Now, another thing you can adjust if you want is you can mute the left or the right side or both together, or you can solo the left and right side, whatever you want to do there. Now, a very important thing to remember, it's something I forget quite often actually, is you want to disable this plugin when you do your rendering. So before you render your project down to the final WAV or MP3, you want to make sure you disable this plugin because you don't want that on the final mix. You just want to mix with it on. So be sure to turn this off before you do your mix down. The Waves CLA NX plugin is a great way to level up your mixes and get great results even if you're mixing with headphones. Now be sure to click the link down in the description in case you want more information, see the latest pricing on this. And if you want to check out my review of the Waves Ocean Way NX plugin, click the video on the screen right now, or click the one under it to see what YouTube recommends. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane, keep creating, and we'll talk soon.